Hello YouTube and universe, welcome to Skystorm Productions. I'm your host Morro, here to bring you everything new on your favorite brands and more. And today, we will be taking a look at the reveals from MegaCon 2025. But before we begin, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification so you don't miss another video like this. Because it may be a small kick for you guys, but it's a big help for me and the channel. Thank you. Without further ado, let us begin. Now, I'll be splitting this off into two parts. The first part will talk about all the new stuff that was revealed, and the second part we'll be talking about the HasLab, since that deserves its own video. And to start off, let's talk about the stuff in Studio Series. Now for Studio Series, we only have one figure, that being the Commander class for this year, the Long Haul and Hook 2-pack. Now to start off, let's talk about their box, because I absolutely despise how it looks. It just looks like it's AI, and I think it is, which whoever decided to do that, they deserve to get fired, because I'm okay with AI art when it comes to certain things, but when it comes to when you're trying to promote something, never use AI art. It just leaves a bad taste in the consumer's mouth. And honestly, for a Commander class, that's kind of disappointing that the box art isn't something the actual person made. But if it isn't AI, I don't know how to feel about it, because it looks too much like AI not to be. Okay, I think you guys get the point now. I don't like AI art, okay? Now let's talk about the actual figures. Starting off in robot mode, I have to say both of them look good together. Both of them look very accurate to their G1's designs, and I can't really complain about it. Though the one thing I don't like is how Hook's arms look. And by that, I actually mean how his arms bend. It looks like there's nothing there when he does, and it just looks weird to me. Though, hopefully, that's the only complaint I have about it when I actually get it in person. I also like how they made Long Haul bulky, because it makes sense since he turns into a dump truck, he'll be the biggest ones out of the Constructicons, and I like how they showed it by making him, well, bulky as I said. Though from the looks of it, he does have the same elbow problem that Hook has, which might not be the best, because those kind of elbows, I feel like they're gonna break sometime soon. I don't know why. But other than that, everything looks good. And since it's a Commander class, not many things are going to be hollow. Though from the looks of Long Haul's legs, it's going to be just a little hollow. But that's it for the robot modes. Let's move on to their vehicle modes. And again, let's start off with Hook. Of course, he turns into his crane, and honestly, can't really complain about it. It looks exactly like how it's supposed to, and yeah, nothing really to talk about it. But when it comes to Long Haul, yes, he does turn into a dump truck still, but the extra parts for Devastator become a back piece for the dump truck. Which I have to say is very smart usage of the extra parts, basically making Long Haul the strong one by making him carry the extra bits. Now while we're on the topic of Devastator, as you can see, since this is the Commander, they form the main body for Devastator, while the rest of them will form the limbs. And I have to say, even without its extra pieces, it still looks pretty good, and honestly, I already have it pre-ordered, so I'm getting it either way. And all in all, can't really complain about it. Though I wish it would be coming out earlier, because it's coming out on August 6th, so I got a long time to wait. Now that's it for Studio Series. Let's move on to the next thing, that being Transformers Age of the Primes. And we already get our first look at the two Voyager classes for Wave 2. Now starting off with the Rescue Bots, we have Heatwave. And honestly, I like how he looks. I know some people don't like that he is a bulkhead retool, but for me, it just kind of works. The only thing I don't like is how his arms don't become the front cab of the fire truck. And other than that, it looks like it's going to be an amazing figure. Now for his accessories, he comes with an Energon axe and one of the blasters that they used during Rescue Bots. I think it was the foam one, but either way, it looks pretty cool, and I will definitely be getting this to put alongside my chase. Now moving to his vehicle mode, yeah, it looks pretty good, though the backside can use some work. I can't really complain about it since, yes, it's a bulkhead retool, and there are some limitations, but as long as it looks pretty good and accurate, I can't complain. Now that's it with Heatwave. Let's move on to the second Voyager class, that being the best shark around, the greatest shark in town, Skybite. Now, let me tell you, I've been waiting for a good Skybite to come out for the longest time. Yes, the Thrilling 30s version was good, but this just looks amazing. The robot mode looks very accurate to his show model, and I cannot complain about it at all. It just looks amazing. Hopefully the in-person models look good as well because, well, from the MegaCon photos, they look good, but I'm just using the stock images, and as you can see, they look amazing. They look vibrant. They look perfect. Hopefully, when we get in-hand images, it looks even better. But when you go into his beast mode, oh, it just looks even better. Look at this. It's just perfect. The dark blues, the gray undertone, and the mix and match of techno-organic parts. Yeah, that's just perfect. And of course, his cannon can go inside of the beast mode's mouth like the original toy, which looks amazing. And unlike the Thrilling 30s version, it's actually articulate, so you can move it however you want, and I just love that. Now, hopefully, we could get a Transmetal 2 version of Cyber Shark, which hopefully they do that in either Generation Selects or do that next year. But either way, yeah, I'm definitely getting this. Now, that's it for the main reveals for Age of the Prime, but we also got to see the space bridge of the future figures, and they're all exclusives. So let's talk about them. First up, we have the Walmart exclusives, and the first one I want to talk about is Excellion, which is going to be a recolor of the Legacy United Hotshot that came out. And yeah, I like it. Personally, I'm going to use this for Earth Mode Hot Rod, but yeah, I'm definitely getting it because Excellion has a way cooler color scheme to me than the base one. And for the second Walmart exclusive they showed off, we have Cybertron Universe Sideways. And oh man, I've been waiting for this. Sideways was one of my favorite characters in the Unicron trilogy, so seeing that he's getting a new figure, yes, definitely. But take my money, Hasbro. But my thing is it going to be a retool of another character or its own mold? Hopefully it's its own mold because, well, it has to be because of how unique his character design was compared to all the other characters from Cybertron. But if it's a retool, I wouldn't mind. I would just be disappointed. But anyway, that's it for the Walmart exclusives. Moving on to the Target exclusives, we have two 2-packs, essentially. The first one is a Devastation 2-pack that comes with a Ground Trooper and a Seeker. And honestly, yeah, I might actually get this to Troop build because I already have the Decepticon Soldier from Gamer Edition and I need more Decepticon troops. So yeah, I'm going to get this to Army build. And it's going to be a retool of Runamuck and Dirge. And honestly, yeah, I don't have either of the molds. Well, I do have the Earthrise Starscream mold, but I don't have the Dirge version. So this will be a pretty good experience to actually get it. And for the second Target exclusive, we have a package refresh of Perceptor that comes with 2 cassettes, that being Ramhorn and Ratbat. And honestly, I'm okay with the reissue of Perceptor. I already have one, so I might not be getting it for that. But what I will be getting it for are the 2 cassettes, because supposedly there's supposed to be new molds. The Ratbat, of course, we got in Siege, but they stated that it's going to come with his jetpack, so it has to be a new mold for that specific piece. And for Ramhorn, of course, it's going to be a new mold since no other of the cassettes look like him. So it works by me just to get another Perceptor. To get these 2 cassettes, I'll definitely get them so I can complete my cassettes. And that's it for Target. Let's move on to the final exclusive, that being Amazon. And I'm not talking about the Kamen Rider. Anyway, we have 2-packs based off of the new subline for the Records versus the Mayhem Attack Squad. And for the first one, we have Iron Fist versus Carnivac. Now, Iron Fist will be a Hound retool, while Carnivac will be a Werewolf retool with fixed parts. And also, I'm kind of excited for it because Iron Fist was one of my favorite characters in IDW. Yes, even though he had only one appearance in the Records series, hey, he was a cool character, and I want to get him in my collection. Now, for his partner in the 2-pack, Carnivac, I don't really know what to say about him. He's a pretender, yes, and I'm always glad to have more pretenders in my shelf, but it's just like, he's really a not character. There's barely little characterization to him, and he doesn't really have any big media. Though I am kind of glad that they fixed the werewolf mold because I know that was prone to breaking a lot. So, yeah, I'm still going to keep it as long as I get the 2-pack. Now, for the second 2-pack Amazon's coming out with, it's going to come with Sandstorm and Sugslinger. Now, this 2-pack I'm kind of hyped for because, well, I don't really buy the Legacy Sandstorm because I didn't want the faceplate version. I was going to wait till they re-released him with his normal face. And hey, they said for this release, we're actually going to get it. So I'm happy about that. And for Sugslinger, since I was never able to get him in Titans Return, and I heard he's a good mold, that's going to be a good chance to get him. And personally, those two in the 2-pack seem like a pretty good combo, because these two will be the flyers for their respective groups. Now, all I want Amazon to do is have Whirl in a 2-pack, because we need a new Whirl. Now, that's it for everything in Legacy. Let's move on to the third thing that was revealed, and that's Transformers Timelines. If you don't know what that is, basically Transformers Timeline was during the FubPub era where they would do retools and bring back obscure characters with modern toys. And honestly, I used to love it, though I'd never actually been to BotCon. I used to get the figures off of eBay. But anyway, this time Transformers Timelines is back and is bringing us a certain kind of Transformers we've never seen before. That being Transformers Hearts of Steel. Now, this was an early IDW series, and I personally loved it. Basically, it was what if the Transformers woke up during the Industrial Revolution, and it brought so many cool ideas. But now, we finally have figures that aren't third party. Now, we have 2 reveals when it comes to this line. The first one being Starscream and Optimus Prime. Now, before I talk about the figures, let's talk about the box, because look at this. It's just, wow. It has the whole steampunk vibe, and I love it. Personally, I'm going to keep the box because, well, whenever I find a box that's interesting or has amazing art, I keep it, and this deserves to go in the keep. Now, this is the sleeve for the box, and when you open it up, it splits in two like an actual comic book, and you can actually see the 2 figures inside of it, which is so smart, and I don't know why Hasbro doesn't do that for more comic figures. Yes, I know they did it for the comic figures that came out last year, but I mean, they need to do it more often. That's just me, though. But anyway, let's talk about the actual figures. Starting off with the main man, Optimus Prime. Yeah, he looks amazing. And he looks exactly like how Guido Guidi drew him. And I love that. It just looks like he came right out of the comic book. And I feel like Hasbro should be doing that more when it comes to characters from the comics, instead of making them retools of other characters if it doesn't fit. But back to Optimus, I really love how he looks. The blue, black, and red that they chose for it is just amazing. Plus the little bit of gold in the center. Chef's kiss. I would not change that one bit. My only complaint is what his ion blaster looks like, because that ain't no ion blaster. That looks like a megaphone. But either way, still looks pretty good. Now, moving on to the next figure in this 2-pack, we have Starscream. And oh, man. I don't know what to say. This just looks amazing. It's art. It's perfection. It's Starscream. And let me tell you, this figure captures Hearts of Steel Starscream so well. I want to see them get recolored into the other Seekers. It just looks perfect. And as you can see, I do not have any complaints about it. It's just amazing. And oh no, I don't really have anything to say about the Starscream. It's just perfect. Now, that's it for their robot modes. Let's talk about their vehicle modes. And starting off with Optimus again. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Kind of reminds me of those chibi trains that you'll see like a certain company make. Though in the original design, it had a back cab to actually make it look longer. But for this, it just seems like it's just the front of the train. But it still looks good. Looks super adorable and can't really complain about it. But when you go to Starscream, looks like the Edison brothers did it again. I think they were the Edison brothers. I don't remember who made their plane in the Hearts of Steel's comic. But it still looks good. Reminds me of the Batwing, which I think that was the inspiration was. But basically, it's just a flying machine. And all in all, it looks pretty good. And as I said, I want to see the Seekers color schemes on it. I just want more of them. But other than that, that's really it for this 2-pack. We also got a little sneak peek of the Bumblebee and Megatron, but I want to talk about that when we get an actual reveal for that. Like, when we know that it's going to be shipped out. But for the 2 figures we talked about, they are up for pre-order right now on Hasbro Pulse. And I have to say, all the figures that were shown off during MegaCon were amazing, and I cannot complain about them at all. And tell me in the comments, how do you feel about the figures? Also, Part 2 will be coming up soon, and we'll be talking about Lyle Kaiser. And I'm so sorry this came out so late. I've been caught up on college classes, so I haven't had time to actually work on videos. So hopefully you guys understand that. And hey, we're almost at 900 subscribers. And when we hit 900, I'll be doing a Q&A, and you can ask me any questions. And if that's everything, that's a wrap. Fade to black.